This is Rogers TV.
Welcome to this edition of Dufferin Life. I'm your host, Teena Avery. Thank you so much for tuning in. The ducks are coming. A guest that you've seen here many, many times, and I love to have on the show, Randy McClellan. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Teena. Appreciate being here.
Well, I always love having you on the show, and I know what we're talking about. And if you are looking at this saying, why is she holding the duck? Then you need to stay tuned for sure and listen. And if you know why I'm holding the duck, then you need to stay tuned and hear what's happening this year. So, Randy, tell me a little bit about the Grand Valley Lions Club and what we're doing in May.
Well, it's May 25th, and we're having our 27th annual duck race.
Amazing.
Yes, it is.
27 years, that's phenomenal for this event to happen. And I love having you on to talk about this event. Absolutely.
Well, it's a nice sort of thing for spring is around the corner type of thing.
Yes.
You know.
And the duck should be in the water in the spring. So, yeah.
Yes.
This duck number 3, will be in the water in the spring. So let's talk a little bit in case anybody's watching or who's just tuning into the show and never heard about this event, let's talk about what it is and what it's for.
Well, it's the Grand Valley Lions major fundraiser. We sell ducks at $10 each. This year we got 90 prizes totaling $30,831.51.
Well, that's exact. I'm impressed.
When you have to fill out all the paperwork and that, you remember the figures.
Absolutely. Well, that's phenomenal. So 90 different prizes that can be won.
Yes, we've got fantastic sponsors, local sponsors and that. And when you say shop local, this is what happens.
Right. Absolutely. It's really, and I talk about it, I say it all the time, and you're probably like, I know what she's going to say, but we live in a phenomenal community, and to keep this a phenomenal community, you really do have to shop and support local. It's so important.
It certainly is, because they support you, like your hockey programs, your baseball programs, your soccer programs.
The duck race.
Definitely the duck race, yes.
Absolutely. So let's talk, so the event is in its 27th year, which is great.
Yes.
What happens at the event? Tell us what people can expect.
Well, it's basically evolved into sort of a duck day because there's lots of other things going on besides the race, but the race is the major activity to see. The Lions have a community breakfast in the morning from 8 to 11, and that, and everybody in town, because there's so many people in, have garage sales. So if you're a garage sailor, I am, but I don't have time to go see it.
You don't have time, not on that day. No,
not
you're
on that
very
day,
busy.
no. There's 2 plant sales. The Agricultural Society and the Horticultural Society has plant sales.
Okay.
Which is great. Again, I miss those. But anyways, and then down at Harewood Park, which is the end of Main Street, we have tons of activities to do. There's obviously food and beverages there, but this year we have something new. We've got a dunk tank.
Ooh.
Sponsored by one of our new dentists in town, Manoff Dental, and I understand that Dr. Sam is going to be the first person to be dunked.
I was going to say, who's going to go into the dunk tank? Not me, of course.
We'll watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And then there's free face painting, there's balloons, there's stickers, there's bouncy castle, there's a live band,
Amazing.
children's play area, tons of things.
So there's a lot to do for the family, but we're going to talk about the little quackers. Let's talk about the actual what to expect. What are people going to see with the ducks? So everyone is going to go out and buy a ticket, and you will get a duck that will be numbered and registered to your name. Correct?
Correct. Yes.
And then there is a massive drop of
when
ducks.
you buy a ticket, the ticket number is your duck number.
Okay.
And that we label them the weekend before, just to make sure that they're all there and whatever. So 1 to 4,000 ducks. The ducks are loaded into a cage. They get pretty rowdy sometimes.
Can you imagine 4,000 ducks in a cage? That's crazy.
We have a crane that picks up the cage. The crane is courtesy of Grand Valley Crane Rental, by the way, and they've been doing it since start.
Wonderful.
Which is great, and that in itself is just something to see, because they load the cage out over across the river, and then our dignitaries, our MPP, our MP, our warden, and our mayor pull the rope, and the bottom comes out, and all the ducks fly into the river.
Wonderful. And the goal is for your duck to cross the finish line, right?
First, yes.
Yes.
First prize is a prize package from Pitmaster's Choice Pellets of $2,500.
Wow.
They've got a smoker grill, a year's supply of pellets, accessories, and a few other goodies in that.
That alone is reason enough to go out and buy a duck.
Well, yeah, and second prize is only $1,100.
Only $1,100.
So yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's right. So second prize would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any prize would be good, but above and beyond winning a prize, coming out to support the community, coming out to support the Grand Valley Lions, I think is reason enough to actually go out and have some fun and be out with everybody else.
Certainly is, and that's what we try to make it, a fun day. There's lots of free things for the kids to do, as I mentioned. You know, they can get their face painted again, or they can watch the ducks float down the river or not, or.
So I'm assuming there's something at the other end that collects the ducks.
Oh yes.
That would be hard just to let those
They
little
don't
ducks
float
go.
down
Yeah.
the river forever. No. We put snow fence up across the river, and they come into a chute, and
Okay.
the first duck in the chute is the number one duck to win the first prize.
Wonderful. Well, maybe it will be number 3, because I like number 3. So I'm just saying that I'm predicting that maybe number 3 might be a good one.
Who knows? It's luck of the draw.
It is, absolutely. It's luck of the duck.
Yes.
I did a rhyme there and didn't even mean
Most
to.
people
Yep.
say, I don't mind making a donation if I win a prize. It's a bonus.
Well, I think that's it. And we're going to talk about the Grand Valley Lions and what you do with the funds that you raise and that sort of thing, and some of the other things that you do, just to make people aware in case you didn't know. So tell us a little bit about the projects that you work on, like the Duck Day, Duck Race, and where those funds go and how it goes to help the community.
Well, this year we really helped the food bank. Well, it's called Dufferin-Caledon now, shares now, and that we always have supported them. We bought the turkeys and that for their hamper program at Christmas time and that. And Dufferin-Caledon does not do that, but there was an offshoot group that started up, and they raised money and donations for the Hamper and Angels program, they call it.
Okay.
They provided hampers and gifts to people in need, and we more than were willing to help them out with that. We also donated a large chunk of our money to the Dufferin-Caledon. We donated to Grand Valley Minor Hockey to help kids in need that couldn't really afford all of the registration costs for that. We donated to Minor Soccer and that, and then a few other smaller donations, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, and I think the important and one of the things that I find absolutely phenomenal about the Lions organization is the fact that they're giving back within the community that you're from. I mean, and there are a lot of organizations that are outside of our community that need help as well, but I think Dufferin County itself, we work very hard to take care of each other. Community groups work with community groups. You know, we try to support where we can, and I say it all the time, but maybe you don't have the $10 to buy the duck, but you can help spread the word and ask friends of yours to go out and support, or just go out and have some fun that day and just watch the duck race. Like I think it's a phenomenal thing to watch.
Right, and knock on wood, we've had really good weather in the last few years and that, and people just get out and oh, there's a neighbor I haven't seen in a while, so you do some visiting, and you know, you still have fun. The kids have fun. doing
Yeah, and
different
it gives
things.
people the opportunity to meet other people within the community as well. Maybe people that you don't know,
Right.
right? Because it's just getting everybody out and kind of, there's such a warm, happy feeling when there's a community or a group of people that get together to have fun, to support the community, just to meet other individuals. It's heartwarming, and I think you walk away just a little bit happier.
Right. Well, you know, we're just getting over winter. And winter really hasn't too bad, but you don't really have a chance to go out and talk to your neighbors because it is cooler outside. So during the duck race and that, the weather's nicer and you can stand and talk and,
Right.
and visit and, okay, oh, you live down the street type of thing, you know, and whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, we have, and we try to keep it a very family-oriented event.
Absolutely. So have you ever had an instance where the ducks don't go or they get stuck in the cage or?
Hi, hush.
I'm not putting it out there so it'll happen, but I mean, it's 4,000 ducks is a challenge, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
1 year, I'm not sure, it wasn't that many years ago actually, the river was too high.
Okay.
And we couldn't put the ducks, it was not safe to start with and we'd have lost our ducks.
Right.
So we drew the names out of a raffle drum.
Okay, so there's always a backup
Yeah.
plan for sure.
Yes, and 1 year when they dropped the ducks, they went upriver for a bit. So
Well, they just wanted to go the long way.
they did
Yeah.
take their long route. Yeah, there was a little bit of a breeze in their face and they didn't like that. So, but they made it, so yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's the wonderful thing. Now, this event happens rain or shine, for the most part.
For the most part, yes. We
Yeah.
don't like thunder or lightning.
No, I mean, you don't want people standing out by the
No.
water through.
And that now, yeah, if it's raining too hard, we'll get wet, but usually we won't have any spectators. So, however,
But yeah, so I mean, you've got some amazing sponsors this year. You've got, I think, some milk donations, and there's different things that are happening.
Yes.
So I encourage you to go out to the website and to the Facebook page and find out and really support those people that are supporting the community through this event.
right. Yeah, we're supporting the Orangeville Lions at the Home and Garden Show, and that will be there. And you know, Lions and other service groups work together. Community groups and that in our area, not they have booths and that there. We don't charge them for that because they're part of our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're just spreading the word of what they're doing and whatever. So that's fine.
So where can we buy tickets? We've got a little less than a minute. So where can we find tickets?
Well, most of the merchants in Grand Valley will have them. M&M's going to have some this year in Orangeville.
Nice.
Still working a couple more spots in
Okay.
Orangeville. But yes,
But they can find that information online as well.
yes, that'll be on our webpage or Facebook page.
That is absolutely amazing. Well, I'm rooting for duck number 3, so lucky ticket holder number 3. You know, come see me if it doesn't work. I don't know, maybe not. But this is the one I'm rooting for because he made a special appearance on the show. Randy, I want to thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Tina. We appreciate it very much.
It is truly my pleasure. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Buckle up. We're cleared for takeoff.
Here we go, boys. Here we go.
16 teams, one champion for the greatest trophy in sports.
You know why I'm here. A time for new heroes to be born.
This is a guy who wants to get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
This is what I'm here for.
Stanley Cup champions.
I'm here. I'm here for the Stanley Cup.
They've reached the summit.
I'm here to win.
The Stanley Cup playoffs. Here we go.
Welcome back to Dufferin Life. Thanks for staying with us. If you're just tuning in, well, you're always going to be tuning in at a great time because we always have great guests on Dufferin Life. Familiar face joining us today, talking about an event coming up in just a few weeks. Dina Montgomery, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Tina. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate it.
It is truly my pleasure. So you've been on the show before. I always love having you on. We're always talking about different things that are happening in the community. So you're taking part, or you're helping to coordinate an event happening at the beginning of May. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I never seem to get away from organizing events, whether they're fundraisers or just events. So I'm part of a team. There's the two of us, Heather and myself, and we're doing an event called the Women's Show, and it's featuring the Mummy and Me show. So I was sort of the Mummy and Me part of it because I am now a grandmother, and my daughter wanted to do sort of a show that focused on things for moms, like young moms and babies. And Heather was working on a show for women, so we decided to combine them together to make it a bigger show. So we're working on this show in May on the 3rd and the 4th, and we have a lot of great events planned. There's a lot of things happening. It's like one of those shows where there's lots of moving parts, because that's the way I like to do things.
She enjoys having a lot to do.
I do.
And just being, a multitasker.
It is,
right?
true.
I mean, I can't really say that I'm any different, so.
Yeah, I think we're similar. So what we're doing is on the Friday, we're doing like an evening show, because one of the things my daughter Kaylee said to me is, Mom, it's hard when you have a small baby to get out and just go shopping on your own. Can you do something in the evening where it's like leave all the kids at home and all the friends just get together and have a good time? So I thought that's a great idea. So what we did was created this show where we'll have vendors, and we call it a sip shop and crafting workshop.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
Of course it is. And what it is you come. Now it's a non-alcoholic event, so mocktails, but there'll be mocktails and snacks, and then you'll be making yourself your own little decorative wine glass that you can put your mocktail in. And then you can shop the vendors, there'll be music. The other part of that is we are charging $20 for tickets, with $5 going to hospice care in our community.
Okay.
As everybody knows or knows me, I'm a big supporter of hospice care.
As am I.
Yeah, so and because it's May as well, it's also Hospice Palliative Month in nationally, so it ties in well with that. So it's $20 with $5 going to hospice care, and then that gets you an entrance in. It's from 5 to 9 at night, and there'll be some entertainment, and it's kind of one of those events where you can take your time. There'll be other workshops. We're still working on deciding what that's going to be, but more like make and take type workshops. So you can come and spend 4 hours with your friends and make some cool things and enjoy some food and some mocktails and shop and maybe get away from the family if that's what you choose.
And she means that with the biggest heart.
Yes, I do.
But we all, you know what, it's true. I mean, raising kids, and you're always busy and you're working and you're doing whatever, whether you're on maternity leave or not, you're always working and you're keeping your house and you're doing everything that you're doing. And you need that time to just kind of step back, be with friends, be with family, have a little bit of fun. And that's in order to keep all your marbles in their place, because you just need them. Yeah.
I just find too, I mean, when I was younger on a Friday night, it was get ready and go out to the clubs or something. I'm a little bit past that now, but and because I'm a big crafter and I am social and stuff, I just find that this is a great way to sort of enjoy the food, the drink, and make the crafts, because lots of people like to do that, but where do you go to do that? And unless you're hosting your own party in your home,
which is a lot of work.
Which is a lot of work. So, so that was sort of the premise behind the Friday night. And then on the Saturday, what we're doing is it's kind of open to the family. So we're encouraging the kids to come, because at 1 o'clock we have a magician coming.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. And then we're also doing make and takes there, and there will be special make and takes for the kids because it's 1 week before Mother's Day.
Nice.
So they can come and make a little gift for their mom.
Aww.
And then we're also doing, it'll be $2 for adults to come in, but that $2 is also going to hospice care in our community.
Okay.
So the whole event with the piece of the donations is supporting our hospice.
Yeah, well, we all know that. Well, we've talked about it here on the show about how what big supporters we are of hospice, and how important that care is for those that need it. And you always run into a time, friend, family, someone that where maybe they need that care. So that's really important. So
well, and it's
yeah.
multifunctional. I mean, some people think of hospice as end of life, and it's supporting people at the end of life, but there's also the grief process of the
Yes.
people afterwards that they support. And I think we forget about that too, and where to turn to get grief support. And one of the things that I can speak to, I mean, having worked in the hospice landscape for 5.5 years with both Bethel and with Hospice Dufferin, I understand the fact that all the services they provide are free. And that's a huge thing. And in order for them to provide them free, they need to get donations, they need to have events, they need community supporters.
Yes.
So now that my rules are done there, I mean, I'm supporting as a community member to something that I truly believe in.
Yes.
Because I've seen the work that they do and experiencing my own, you know, journey through grief and journey through death, I can support that and understand it.
Yes, and I think, I think actually we talked about this the last time, because it's very different. It's not that people don't have compassion or empathy for people who have lost a loved one, be it a parent, friend, whatever happens. But when you actually go through that process and you actually are exposed to the services that a hospice offers, both end of life and after, it gives you this inside look. Like, I don't know how else, like, it gives you this perspective that you don't have if you've never gone through it. And you suddenly come to this realization of how important all of those services are that the hospices do offer to the community.
And you know, and in reality, my experiences were not the same as yours, because I didn't have hospice care when I lost both my parents. I wish I had, but they weren't there. And then when you learn about it, that's when you realize, if I could just, you know, and even I tell people about it and help people now, even just making sure they understand the importance of it when they're going through it for their loved one, because it does change. It changes the journey, right?
It does.
And you can speak to that. So.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, we aligned
Right.
this event with that. The other part of it that's interesting is on the Saturday night. So on the Saturday we go until 4 o'clock. And of course we have vendors there, lots of vendors. I think there's over 30-something vendors. We've rented the entire Manora Park. Actually, I should say that, it's at Manora Park. And we've rented the upstairs and downstairs. And then at 4 o'clock, everybody leaves and we flip it over. And now we're turning it into, we have Jen Kroll, who is a local medium, and she's going to do conversations with spirit.
Wow.
Because that's another thing, you know, not that it has anything to do with hospice, but it's been something I've always been interested in with my own journeys and meeting people. So we thought, you know what, a lot of people ask about that. A lot of people want that connection. So we reached out to her and she was more than willing to do it. And so it's more of an intimate sort of setting where we have maybe 60 people, because the smaller is actually the better.
Yes.
Because she'll do it for about 2 hours, but if you have a smaller setting, you might have a better chance of having a reading. And we're just charging $25 a person for that. And you get, again, mocktails. I'm going to be doing a lot of like making mocktails and some snacks, and then Jen will do her thing
Okay.
for 2 hours. So that's kind of interesting. So we figured, like, we've got this venue, we've rented it for 2 days, we might as well utilize the space and do some of the things. So it's kind of like, if you think about it, it's kind of 3 events
Yes.
in one.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was going to say, the tie-in definitely between women and then mommy and me and that sort of idea. But the medium is just a different take altogether. But I think it's a wonderful concept to put it all together.
Well, it's another opportunity to get together with friends. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are interested in that too, and I've been to some with them, because they'll say, let's go, and I'm always intrigued and interested. You know, they're all different. They all approach things differently, so you kind of get different takes sometimes. So, you know, I thought, why not, you know, and let's find somebody local too, because I'm always big about trying to support local as much as I can. I think that's important. And I should mention as well, as talking about supporting local, the other part of the show on Saturday too is we have young entrepreneurs that we've given space to for a donation to hospice. So there is a table rate that we charge our vendors, but if you're a young entrepreneur, we're giving you a small space, and we just ask that you make whatever your donation, but we don't set the donation rate, but we just say, please make a donation to hospice. And it's a great opportunity. There's another win-win too, because now we're bringing in these young entrepreneurs in our community and giving them a platform to sell. And they're working along people like myself and other business people who maybe can give them some tips of the trade, right? Which is invaluable to them.
Absolutely. I mean, when you take people who have experience and you give them that opportunity to mentor somebody else, and it may just be offering a simple question, or they may have a question like, oh, how did you do that, or what do you do to what do you do to promote yourself on social media, or what do you, you know what I mean? All these different things. It gives them that opportunity, and the exposure that they get from this, you never know where they can take it.
Well, it's interesting. I look back on my own life sometimes, and people have asked me about my entrepreneurial journey, and I laugh because I think it started at a very young age. Because I remember, as a child, I was an avid reader, and I belonged to a book club, and I used to get all these editions of books, and my brothers and sister would want to read the books. Well, I would charge them like they were coming to the library. So if they were taking out a book, it'd be like 5 cents for this one and 10 cents for that one. And so I was always doing that as a young child. And then when I got, a little bit older, I started making things and selling them. And it just seems to be something, the trajectory's been there ever since I was young. So you think about these kids, who knows, like they may start making clay earrings, but who knows what that leads to down the road, right? They could become multi-billionaires. And
well, I know, because I mean, like, there's so much opportunity. I mean, with everything being online too, like you can actually expand a business sometimes a lot more quickly than you could back in the day when we were starting our businesses, and you had to like put an ad in the paper in a way, like, or whatever it happened to be. There's nothing wrong with putting an ad in the paper, just to say, but like,
it was different.
It just was such a different way to start your business, and how do you get it out there, and how do you do that? But this also gives them the opportunity to network with other businesses as well, because you never know. There's so many collaborations that can be done, and look at you collaborated with
Heather.
Heather, thank you. You collaborated with Heather, and now you've got this amazing 2-day event with all these different multifaceted things that people can do.
Yeah, so it's interesting. You talk about networking. So we were at a show together in Toronto, and I met her there, so I didn't really know her very well. And she approached me. We both were going to plan shows in April that kind of backed onto each other, and she approached me, and I said, why don't we just work together? It makes more sense, and I'm all about that. Let's work together, because it makes sense to create something bigger and better than two individual things that might compete.
Yes.
So Heather and I have been great working together, and I should just point out, we still have room for a few more vendors, especially in the baby space, if people are out there and are interested. And I'm sure we can post the information on the show. If they're interested, they can contact us and watch our social media, and hope to see everybody Friday night for our sip shop and craft workshop.
See, it is a tongue twister. It is a tongue twister. Radina, thanks so much for coming on the show again and for putting on such a great event.
Thanks for having me, Teena. I appreciate it.
Anytime, anytime. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, bye-bye for now. And there we go.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving